Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. It's Ngozi. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about jealousy and friendships. All right. If this is an interesting topic, we want to hear about this, make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel so that you can hear more content like this. Okay. I see a lot of content now coming out talking about, I don't have any friends. I'm 30 years old. I'm 40 years old. I don't have any friends. I'm a loner. A lot of what I said self-deprecating, but a lot of content is talking about people like kind of isolating themselves, not having friends. And I had to really sit back and think, where is this coming from? And I'm in my early 30s and I've had a lot of experiences with failed friendships as well, to be honest. I think just getting older, you realize like there's a lot of things that you tolerate, a lot of people in your life just because they're convenient, but you realize you guys maybe go separate ways or they weren't really what you thought they were. So just speaking on a personal note, friendships are something I've always had a very interesting relationship with, even started from high school, middle school. I would consider myself to be a very loyal person. And I feel as if in friendships, that loyalty can kind of get you in trouble. I remember getting in a situation in high school for a friend and she ended up like running out of the cafeteria. It was just a mess. And from that day on, when I got myself suspended, in trouble for a friend who ran away from the situation, I learned in Ngozi, you can't fight people's battles. You cannot. But of course, being who I am, a nurturer, protective, I ended up kind of finding myself in the same situations in college, making friends and kind of like always kind of try to solve their problems or like always being there for them. And I feel like when you take up that role in friendships, you kind of end up being the loser because it's not always intentional, but I started realizing that people weren't there for me. People weren't serving me because I'm always serving them, right? And I feel like when you take up that role, like being the strong friend, being the friend that has everything together, you give off the impression to people that you don't need their help, you don't need their support, or they don't really know how to help you because you seem like you have it all together. When it comes to women, a lot of issues, let's be real, stems from men. A lot of issues that a lot of women have are very petty. I personally can never beef woman over a man that's not my husband, that I'm not married to. There's no man have met or that I'm with or that I've dated that is worth me losing a close friend. That's me personally, but people are different. And I believe that also because of the competitive nature of a lot of women, men can bring up a lot of insecurities and a lot of feelings that other things just can't, right? So after college, got in a situation where I felt as if I really needed support from my friends and they weren't there for me in the way that I expected them to be there. And looking back at the situation, I realized my expectations were way too high, but they were high because if it was me, I would have done what I expected them to do for me, right? But like I mentioned, they're not used to being there for me. They're not used to supporting me. So when I look back, I realized that, it wasn't necessarily fair to expect that much from people who are not even used to doing the bare minimum for me. That's just the truth. So I went through a phase after college, like a couple of years of college, I lost like all my college friends. I don't talk to any, like barely any of them. And it made me kind of really look at friendships in a different way. Like I don't need friends, people are fake, blah, blah, blah. They weren't really there for me in my low moments. So like, why do you want to enjoy your high moments with me? But like I mentioned, it took some maturity for me to understand that you have to set expectations in friendships and also set realistic expectations. So I go into college, grad school, make friends, whatever. There for like 4 years. Afterwards, still in touch with like a few of them, but to be honest, not really, So I've just noticed a pattern with my friendships over the years. What I could say is that after my experience with college, it made me honestly not be as dependent on friends or not form as deep relationships like friendships. And it's something I had to work on in the last few years, like not letting that impact my future. And like I mentioned, being very realistic with my expectations and letting my friends know when maybe they offended me or they weren't there for me or they didn't meet my expectation in one way or the other. But overall, I would consider myself a pretty low maintenance friend. And it's not necessarily always a good thing because like I mentioned, that's what allows people not to be there for you. But I am a low maintenance friend. I don't require that much. I don't need to talk to you every day. I don't need you checking up on me every day. If I'm going through something, I will let you know. But I'm just very chill with the whole friends thing. A big part of this video is jealousy in friendships. And I bring this up because when I look at all the patterns in my friendships, low key, a lot of the people I thought were my friends, they were my friends, but they were also very jealous of me. Like, I'm not these people who are delusional, thinks that everyone wants their life and everyone wants to be like them and they're so special. No. But I do believe I'm a Christian and I serve a living God. And I do believe there is a grace that certain people carry. And sometimes people think that jealousy is because, oh, you make more money than this person, or you're more popular. But sometimes it's just the grace that you carry that people can envy. It's not about, oh, you're richer than this person, or you have, like, it's just the way you live your life and the way God is blessing you and the way that sorry, I gotta move this camera. Yeah, I had to move the camera. It's getting dark and I want to bring on my light. But sometimes it is just the way God is blessing you and the way he's working in your life that can elicit envy from people. And jealousy is not a negative thing all the time. I talk about this to with my sister a lot, is that I'm not someone who I would consider experiencing jealousy often at all. And I think it's because I'm just the way my brain works, and I'm just a very rational person that I understand that everyone has their issues and everyone has their problems. No one's life is perfect. And I feel as if for me to kind of be jealous of you is for me to kind of want something that you have. And if I want something that you have, I also have to want the negative things that you have. That's the way I look at it. But some people are just jealous people. That's their personality. Even relationships, I'm not a jealous lover. I'm not someone who easily gets like, that's just not my personality, right? So I noticed that a lot of my friends people I thought were my friends, low key, there was a lot of jealousy involved when I look back and I really reflect the situations. And it's unfortunate and it's sad sometimes that as women, we can't just be honest with each other and say, oh, you have this and I really admire this and I want this. You have that, I really admire this. But why we're so quick to turn it into like a competition or to like put one down. Like some people express that jealousy with putting everything you do down. I had one friend I had to let go because of that, because I realized that was a pattern, so I just think that jealousy to an extent can be natural and common for people, but I think it's what people do with that jealousy. Because if you low key are jealous of someone or that you want something they have, and now you kind of like start just forming this dislike of them because they have this thing that you want, how could I really truly be friends with you? And like when I'm friends with someone, like, I really take them in and I try and see the best in them. I'm the type of friend that can have like someone who is just not that great of a person, but because I know them so much and I tolerate them, you love them and you try and see the best in them. But it comes to a point you have to snap out of it and be like, yeah, blah, 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 but this person doesn't like you. This person is not safe to be around you. This person doesn't have your best interest in mind, and you have to cut them off. So I think a solution to this is really just having a lot of like-minded people as friends, and the people who also have a healthy self-esteem. Because I think a lot of times we make friends based on convenience. You go to school together. I've known you for a long time. We have the same interests. But where I am in my life right now, you have to really like yourself. Like, I cannot be friends with someone who does not like themselves, or someone who is struggling with self-esteem, like heavily struggling with it, or someone who hasn't dealt with past traumas, upbringing, colorism, family, all that stuff, because that stuff is not just in intimate relationships that we say, oh, you got to do the work, or you got to go to therapy, you got to do the healing. No, even with close friends, if you have had friends that are dealing with those type of stuff, it manifests in your friendships. It manifests in the things they say to you, how they respond to you, how they show up for you. So it's equally as important that my close friends are healed and have done the work and are working on being better people, because we'll never be perfect and no one is 100%. It's equally as important that they're doing the work, just like it would be as important for my partner to be doing the work. I look at it the same. I look at it exactly the same. But let me know, y'all, your experiences with friendships, particularly female friendships. Do you have a lot of friends? Are you someone that would consider yourself like a loner? Are you social? Have you had to cut off some friends recently? And what were some of the reasons why? And let's talk more below in the comment section. Thank you all so much for watching. Please make sure to like this video. It really helps my channel. Subscribe if you like this type of content. And I'll see you in my next one.